Hi, everyone. Welcome to Poisonous People. You know, one of the most common questions that I am asked by clients is, am I a narcissist? Now, I will say most of the time, this is asked by people who are definitely not narcissists. And there is a reason they're asking this question. So every time somebody asks me this question, there is a belief that is tied to the question. And in this video, we're going to be looking at the belief, I sometimes act like one. The first thing that I will ask them is, well, give me an example. I mean, what does a narcissist act like in your opinion? Give me some examples of what that might look like. Usually, the person will give me examples that are behaviors that we could probably describe as manipulative or abusive. And so even though I know they're not going to go for this, I still feel like I have a duty to say this to them. Narcissism, especially NPD, which I think that's what you're asking, right? Am I a narcissist? We're usually asking, do I have NPD? But NPD has nothing to do with abuse. And if you go on the internet, you're going to get a very, very different opinion as far as what I just said. There are people out there who will tell you that the definition of narcissism is abuse, that if someone's abusive, they are a narcissist. And that is just not clinically accurate. There are 101 reasons why somebody would engage in abusive behavior, and narcissism is only one of them. But getting back to the conversation, when they say, I sometimes act like a narcissist, I will then try to ask them if they have any behaviors that are more aligned with the DSM. Do you have a tendency to be grandiose? Do you think that you're jealous or arrogant and whatnot? And even if that person says yes, the other thing that I want to stress is that narcissistic personality disorder is not about behavior, but it is about a perception. It's a perception of the self and a perception of the world. So behavior is really not at the heart of the DSM criteria, but it's more an attitude. It's more the thought life, the perception, the way a narcissist is encountering the world, that's the bigger clue that will tell somebody that they're a narcissist. Mental health is mental. If you want to understand, you have to go back to the mentality. So you're most likely a narcissist if you think like one, not if you act like one. Behavior is an outward expression of what's going on internally. So if I lie to you, lying is a behavior. And lying looks the same across the board. But internally, there can be several motives for why I'm lying to you. I could be lying to you because I really fear your reaction. And so I'm trying to avoid you being angry with me. So I'm just going to tell you what I think you want to hear. I could be lying to you because I don't want to hurt your feelings. I might think that you might not be able to handle the truth. And so I might lie to you to protect you. I might lie to you because I just enjoy being sadistic and messing with people's heads. So the reason why we're behaving is really what's going to tip us off. And there are several different motives that could result in the same behavior. And remember, I always say that narcissism is human nature. So all human beings have the capacity to behave narcissistically from time to time. But again, is that how you think? And the best way that I can help you understand how a narcissist might think would be my own story. I am not a narcissist, but I strongly believe that I do have one narcissistic trait, which is arrogance. So I did share my story on this channel, and you can go over to that video and check out that story and see a little bit about how my mind works. Now, I think there are a lot of people who know me, and if they saw that video, they'd be surprised because I really don't think I behave in an arrogant way, but I certainly think like an arrogant person. And if you were to ask me, am I arrogant? I would absolutely tell you, yes, I am. Other people, if you were to ask them, is Jen arrogant? They would tell you, no, I don't think she's arrogant at all. I happen to have control over my behavior. I've learned how to not react a certain way. And in the last 15 years, I've been working on managing the arrogant thoughts that enter my head, which I cannot help. That is why I would say, yeah, I'm an arrogant person. It has nothing to do with my behavior, because I don't act like one, but it has everything to do with the way I think. Ask yourself, do I have arrogant thoughts? Do I have jealous thoughts? Do I have entitled thoughts? Do I think that I'm entitled? And if this is a pattern of thought for you, then you would need to count up how many of those do you have. And if there's 5 or more, there's a good chance that you might have NPD. But if you just simply say, oh, sure, I get jealous when this happens, typically, I mean, that's a normal response. If your significant other is flirting with somebody and deliberately trying to provoke you and you get jealous, I mean, that's not NPD. That is a normal, natural human response to a stimulus that you're being faced with. Behavior really doesn't tell us much, especially if people are aware of their behavior and they're trying to hide their behavior or act a certain way in order to get something. If you're not really good at analyzing the subtext, the nonverbals, the body language, you may not really understand what the person's behavior is telling you, and that includes your own. If this does apply to you, as I said, as it applies to me in the realm of arrogance, then you can say, okay, well, yeah, I'm a little bit entitled, or yeah, I'm jealous, or I'm arrogant. But that doesn't mean you're a narcissist. If you have 5 or more of those qualities that rule your thought life and your perception, then we can talk. But otherwise, I don't think it's a wise choice to try to self-diagnose based on your behavior, because anyone can fake behavior. Anyone can behave any way they like based on certain motives. And honestly, behavior is a lousy yardstick for trying to figure out what's going on in someone's head. I'm Jen Guerriero, and this is Poisonous People. Thanks for watching.